Hi everybody, it's Anne. How are you all doing as we have been moving through, as you know, some very, very intense energies. It's been challenging for me to communicate, as you can probably guess why, what is happening. There's been so much coming into process. It's been stop and go, where it's like feel good movement and then kind of stop, rest, process. And it's been like that for the past little while. Really been focusing on healing. And for me personally, it's a very simple process, which is eating well. Whatever that means to you, it means getting outside, sunshine, lots of fresh water, exercise, rest. Very simple behavior patterns that are consistent every day is a very healthy thing to do, especially those of us who are highly sensitive. So a lot of us have been just simplifying and trying to understand where we are giving away our energies and where we need to stop giving away our energies if it's not properly reciprocated. So a lot of us are learning about this idea of energy reciprocation, which is we love to help other people. Sometimes this is useful, and other times it means that we are draining ourselves for the sake of others. And I think a lot of us and people watching me here recognize that this may have been happening. So we're doing a lot of clearing on that regard. Also, I have here resentment, restriction, the effect of toxic people. And boy, have I been really thinking a lot about behavior patterns of those people in my life and how it has affected me, feeling there and understanding now where they were projecting sometimes for years. And this whole idea of passive aggressiveness, gaslighting, covert manipulation, icky behaviors that people do on a regular basis. This is a big theme. Now, when we're talking about even the bigger picture, there is so much discussion on this good versus evil. I've always said that this is a whole deal here related to our own personal self-healing, self-validation, self-actualization, coming to know who we are and clearing out who we are not is the collective theme. There is nothing outside of us. Now, I learned this possibility of evil, insidious behavior from relationship with an individual, a narcissistic, sociopathic individual whom I thought was madly in love with me, would do anything for me, who knew everything about me, and who I gave away and finally opened up to later to discover it was a pathological liar that was using me. Very, very well done. Academy Award winning episodes of acting. Kind of crazy. This stuff is dangerous. This stuff can affect you mentally, physically, spiritually, all of it. And it's really important for us to step back and look at any relationship we are in, for that matter, and just simply view it, recognize if there are patterns that aren't sitting right with you, have open discussions with individuals, as we should be able to have in our personal relationships. So recognizing where things don't feel right and really observing what you are doing and responding to, and what is coming in. Very, very, very important right now. So a lot of people are talking about this subject because it is critical. Collectively, I mean, I never would have believed I was pretty naive in my whole life. I worked very hard, had a very big career drive, spent 30 years in the corporate world. And I pushed myself very hard. I still continue to do that, so I'm learning how to chill out a bit in this lifetime after a lot of various circumstances that have been brought into my lifetime. But I can tell you, I was pretty naive, very naive. I looked at the world through rose-colored glasses. I really believed people were truthful and honest, and I did not see the darkness. And maybe that was for a reason. A lot of that had to do with how I was, my upbringing, a lot of neglect, a lot of abandonment in my life. But this relationship taught me that these types of individuals do not care. They have no conscience. They will do almost anything to get their way, to maintain control and power, because you are their source of energy. And it is something to really importantly be aware of, and I think should be taught in school, about our own emotional management and well-being, because wow, it can certainly take your life for a loop. But what it showed me is there are people like this in the world. They do exist in a large capacity. They really do have a big foothold in many lives, and this is what we are working with right now. And the only way to move out of those types of relationships is with your own understanding, growth, empowerment, boundaries. All of those things are super important. And to really trust your own intuition and sense of self. They will do anything to distract you from your purpose of awakening and of healing, because it takes away from their power. The more they keep you in control and in fear, the less time you have to discover who you truly are. So this is a life experience that I had that changed me, that almost killed me, physically depleted me, emotionally and mentally, spiritually very close in all aspects. So it is a very key and important topic. It's also what taught me about what is on the other side of this. Having been through near death, having been exposed to some absolutely gorgeous energies, multidimensional, just love, without the mass amounts of density that exists on this planet, which so many people are working through clearing now, becoming more aware now. I can see where this quote-unquote battle is really taking place, and it is, in fact, within each of us. So it's hard sometimes to be positive, because I do feel resentment for having to experience some of these things. It's emotional, that you wonder why people want to hurt us why they go to such lengths to harm us. And it's because they are hurt and they are harmed within their own worlds. And that still does not, I allow myself to feel it and to experience this hurt and pain and resentment. And then I can let it go, because it's when you truly stand in your own power, when you have the ability to break free, to make your own life choices and decisions, to really listen to what your heart is telling you, to know that you are supported in moving forward to greatness. You can heal physically, you can heal mentally and spiritually if you set the intention to do so. So I encourage anyone who is going through a difficult time of transition and transformation, there are many ups and downs to this process, is just to get up and keep going. Having some sort of consistent, healthy routine, no matter how small to start, is really important. To be grounded in that experience, especially if your life has had a lot of survival mode, turmoil, post-traumatic stress disorders, anxieties, all of these things I have experienced. To allow yourself to learn how to regulate your nervous system is even, work in itself, just simply to learn how to relax and not be waiting for the stalking, or waiting for the next message or the appearance of the vehicle around the corner. Waiting to see if you're going to live from day to day. It's just learning how to completely regulate your nervous system is coming back to finding out what that baseline is. So this happens through rest, through relaxation, through meditation, through healing, through purging, through letting shit go, letting honestly people go, not any disrespect to anybody, except to really bring the focus back to ourselves, where we become better, more helpful individuals, standing in our own authentic being and self. And that is amazing. So we can break free and through into whole new dimensional realms. Yes, we can talk about timeline shifting and vortexes and portals and all these things, but so much of this journey right now collectively is this self-healing, grounded human experience that we are working through right now very, very, very quickly. So hats off to all those who are dealing with any of the topics that I have talked about, learning about your sensitivity and what that actually means, letting that go and opening up to the fullest, limitless potential of our existence. So that has been the energy that I have been feeling collectively, but also the potential for where we are moving in terms of redefining who we are. Sometimes we go through this process more than once in our lifetime. I am certainly have transformed myself many, many times over, and really believe that I'm in another mode of yet moving in and shifting into the next version, whatever that may be, because I don't really know. There are a lot of questions, a lot of voids, and a lot of surrender and trust on the table right now, to be honest. It is absolutely my pleasure and joy to be in nature. I spend as much time as I can out there enjoying it. I just love it so much. It brings me a great amount of peace and a great amount of joy. If I was a little more coordinated, I would be sitting there right now, but it's behind me. I'm looking at nature as I'm talking to you and listening to it. And that to me, always, a walk in nature always helps my perspective. Anyway, guys, I hope that made sense. I just kind of talk what's coming up for me. Love you all very much. Hope you guys are working through your stuff too, because we are making this stuff happen. Talk soon. Bye.